questions that they have for Stacy or Cedric at this point. Please.
Good morning. My name is Lisa Guion-Jones. I'm from North Carolina State University. I'm an ACE fellow, so my host institution is the University of Central Florida, which is an urban serving institution. My question is for Cedric. I'm very impressed with the program in the community to increase the college going. And you mentioned work that you were doing with the school system and English teachers. Very commendable work and very much needed work. My question, though, is what type of work has been done with parents and families in the community, as well as long-standing nonprofits, or even more so not lower level, but less formalized community groups and networks? Has there been any work with those groups to infuse this, particularly with the parents and families? It'll go beyond to children now and to generations. So I just have the question about that.
Great question. And it's not necessarily associated with the completion grant, but a part of our ethos as an institution. There's two things. The first of which is our interim freshman class, their parents speak 32 different languages. And so we actually print literature to parents in 5 different languages that we send directly to our interim students. So that's a part of what we do as part of our community. We also have a parent council that communicates directly to interim parents, not just those that are coming in as freshmen, but potential parents in the community. And that's a part of what we do. And I think the second thing that I would say to answer the question is, we have a program called a funding source that we call SIMS, the Community Engagement Matching Scholarship Process at our institution, where you have those educational nonprofits that don't have tons of money, and we actually match their scholarships for their students to come to UW-Tacoma, as well as waive their admissions application fee to support their capacity and build that collective impact across all functions of our institution.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Other questions? Okay, I have one more, actually for both of you. So I'm curious whether or not you have any terms related to your grants. So do students have to fulfill any obligations, any steps, sign a contract, or anything like that to receive the funds?
Sorry. We do not, right, I mean, we have criteria for the grant, but we do not have anything that a student must do following receipt of that grant. So it's something that we think about a lot, we've talked about. It's been, we'd like to move in a direction where students are doing some kind of maybe a work at the institution. We just haven't scaled that and looked at really our capacity to do that yet. But criteria-wise, students do have to be in good academic standing. Our average GPA does hover 2.5-ish and above. Not that that's an absolute requirement, but they do have to be in good academic standing. The completion grants, they do have to be within 2 years of graduation, and that's verified by an advisor. And then the retention folks have to have completed at least 15 credits in good standing, and with balances typically below $2,000.
Similar. For our institution, if you do not graduate from our institution, your students who leave our institution are not graduating from any other institution, so they're not going to other institutions. So for us, if we can get them through into their senior year, for those who come to us as transfers, our graduation rate is just under 90%. We're having problems with the freshmen, and so if we can get them into their junior, senior year, we can almost guarantee that they're going to ensure that they're going to graduate. So that's our obligation to get them directly into major. Our only obligation is that you remain in good standing within our institution and that you don't have any issues with behavior as part of our conduct code.
Okay. Cedric, I noticed that Graduate Tacoma is part of the Strive network.
Yes.
And I'm curious if, which is also part of the Commit network in Dallas.
Correct.
And I'm curious if you're benchmarking against all those other cities, Racine, Cincinnati, Tacoma, Dallas.
Great, thank you. We actually started discussions with a nonprofit who began the Graduate Tacoma movement in 2012. And so we are benchmarking against other institutions across, well, other cities and communities across the country. So thank you for bringing that up. The 700 members that we just reported out to were all part of our initiative to Graduate Tacoma, not just from, we don't focus on graduation just from high school. We focus on graduation from high school and college in the city of Tacoma.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to Rebecca, please.
I'm Rebecca Porter, Associate Vice Chancellor for Enrollment Management at IUPUI, and I thank you for the opportunity to share information on the Home Stretch Award Program. We developed it at IUPUI to promote degree completion for students in their 5th or 6th year of study, or seniors who had run out of Pell Grant eligibility and direct loan eligibility. I found I needed to script my remarks because otherwise I could talk for a really long time. So IUPUI is a large public urban research university formed in 1969 when Indiana University and Purdue University agreed to come together and form a single campus in Indianapolis. To save time, I've put information about the campus in the info bubbles that you'll see on the 2 slides. The campus is located less than a mile from the JW Marriott, so if you have an opportunity, we would welcome your visit to us while you're here in Indianapolis. IUPUI has been focused on student success since our founding, when we primarily served commuter and part-time students. Today, we have a freshman class that is primarily traditionally aged students who are enrolled full-time. Our new students also include an important transfer student population. While our beginners may be traditionally aged, a significant number of them have non-traditional levels of responsibilities, are first generations, and are lower socioeconomic status. The IUPUI Statement of Values specifically addresses our commitment to student learning. Our strategic plan focuses on 3 urgent principles, and the first of those is the success of our students. U.S. News and World Report ranked IUPUI as number 16 in commitment to undergraduate teaching, and as our new chancellor, Nasser Paydar, has pointed out, we're number 5 if you remove private institutions like Princeton and Yale, so we feel pretty good. The Homestretch program grew out of a prior iteration, which we called the Graduation Incentive Grant. This grant was difficult to administer, in part because it required the students to submit an application, and it required advisors to sign off that the student could graduate in 1 year. And the Graduation Incentive Grant did not produce the graduation results that we had hoped. Our 4-year and 6-year graduation rates are below our peers and below our aspirations. Additionally, the level of state funding we receive is in part performance-based, and in that calculation is the number of degrees that are granted. The Homestretch program is not the only financial aid approach that we're using to increase graduation, but it's the one I'm going to focus on in this brief presentation. We utilize the skin in the game approach, and the mantra of our Director of Student Financial Services, Marvin Smith, that we need to get the right money to the right students in the right way at the right time, which of course is a challenge. We developed the Homestretch program to incentivize students who are close to graduation to complete their bachelor's degree by providing a forgivable institutional loan of up to $5,000 depending on their unmet need. The students were identified during the summer and were offered the award as an institutional loan, which required them to sign a promissory note and a contract that stated if the student graduated by the following August, the loan amount was forgiven. From the institutional perspective, when the student graduates on time, the loan amount was replaced with our need-based institutional aid funds. If you can go to slide 2. In order to provide you with some data, I'm going to focus on the iteration of the homestretch program that was used in academic year 13-14. 150 Indiana residents who were in their 5th and 6th year of study or who were seniors who had exhausted Pell and direct loan eligibility were selected to participate in the program. All students had demonstrated financial need, had completed at least 80 credits toward their degree with at least a 2.0 GPA, and would be able to complete their first baccalaureate degree by the end of the following summer session. We also took this opportunity to explore the impact of coupling financial assistance with coaching in a prospective randomized research design with comparisons to a matched control group comprised of students from the prior year. This provided us with 3 conditions: homestretch program plus coaching, homestretch program no coaching, and no funding, no coaching. The coaching was in addition to the regular academic advising the students received. The coaches helped the students set clear goals, provided guidance in connecting the students' daily activities with those long-term goals, like studying for an exam might help you pass the class, and supported the students in pursuing their individual goals. 75% of the students graduated in 1 year, in contrast to 52% graduation rate of the prior year students. Of the 38 students who did not graduate in that time period, 22 completed their degree the following August, which resulted in a 90% graduation rate of the students in this pilot cohort. The students who participated in the homestretch program were significantly more likely to graduate on time at 75% compared to the match comparison group, and graduated in significantly fewer terms. The homestretch students randomly assigned to coaching had higher on-time graduation rates at 79% compared to the no coaching group at 71%. However, this was not a significant difference using an independent samples t-test. A little over half of the students assigned to the coach actually participated in coaching, meaning that they responded to contacts and they met their coaches in person. These students were more likely to graduate on time compared to the students who were not randomly assigned or the students who were assigned but did not respond to the coaching contacts. This means that the positive outcome may have some selection bias in that the students who were responding to the contacts were also the students who were more likely to be goal-oriented and to graduate. So in conclusion, we continue to explore how to get the right money to the right students in the right way at the right time so that we can maximize the effectiveness of our institutional need-based aid and assist our students to achieve their dreams.